Hello and welcome to another edition of UFO Video Addicts. Let me give you a quick preview of what I got coming up in this video. The first is a video with multiple sightings actually from all out of Colombia. Also have this video which was filmed from a plane over Brazil. Pilot caught 3 UFOs, 37,000 feet. And this is an old video that's actually been out a while though, but this is obviously from the International Space Station. And when she opens this window, I mean, it's hard to see, but they do a close-up and you see there's some movement in the background. This is a UFO sighting out of New York City. This is an example of another one of those rocks that have a strange shape. I talked about that rock from Japan in yesterday's video. And I think, this is also something similar that I think may at one time have been metal. And then this is, and then it turned into rock, a metal alloy or something. This here is another one of the documents from the CIA dump talking about UFOs. This is an article from the Guardian, and it's an article about all of the whales that that die, I guess, from the sonar that the U.S. Navy uses. But I have an opinion on that. And this is a photo of Earth from 6 billion kilometers away, or 3.7 billion miles away. That little dot right there is Earth. Take a look at that. So let me get to this first video here. Now these are all out of Colombia and these are all very recent. Let me go back, let's see. Yeah, let me first go back to this one here. Look at that. Okay, you know what? I can't play all of all these videos, so let me just give you a quick preview. Okay, I think that's the same one actually. Oh no, that's a different one. But of course, I'll leave the link in the description so you can check it out. Oh yeah, look at this one here. And this was December 30th, 2020. So that's that one there. Let's see, there's another one here. I think that's, yeah, there it is right there. But, I think there's more on this video, but I'll leave a link. I can't play the whole thing because I don't want to get hit with a copyright violation, but the link will be in the description. Now this one here, since it's from Reddit, I can go ahead and play the whole thing. But like I've said in so many of my other videos, these UFO sightings are not unusual anymore. They happen every single day because I'm making these videos every single day. Yes, occasionally I post a video, an older video, but that doesn't mean that these UFO sightings aren't happening every single day. And I don't think they're all visitors. Some of them for sure have to be visitors because there's way too much life out there, way too many possibilities, way too much time, too much space for there not to have been life out there. So yeah, I definitely believe there's life out there visiting us for sure. But I think the majority of these sightings that we see are, beings that we share the planet with. And and that's actually all starting to come out more and more. Yeah, this is another one from Reddit, so.
It's a direct mechanical connection. Shutters can only be operated manually. And it's kind of cool to think that, there's this shaft that goes sort of through the structure. The other side is in outer space. It feels cold, but a regular metal cold, not really, really cold. And again, when you get close to structure, you want to be careful not to hit real hard.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't see how they saw that. Maybe they looked. Maybe they had a better resolution, but yeah, that was I couldn't see it from there. Now here, of course, I can see that. Yeah, they're just going to keep playing this video over and over again, but I'll leave a link in the description. You can check that out. Let's see. This one now is from New York City. I don't know what part of New York City, but December 2020.
Bro, the sky is literally red. It's literally flashing red.
Oh, I thought this was a UFO. Well, you know what? That might be a UFO. Like, I don't think that's a weather anomaly. I've seen lightning before, and lightning never looks like that.
I can't zoom, I can't focus that, but like if I look at the house, you can see that it's not like a flashing light. It's literally in the sky. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I think that's like a giant UFO. Back there. What, or is that lightning? I'll leave a link in the description. Yeah, I think that similar to the that rock from Japan with that strange geometric shape cut out. Yeah, I think that things like this are the remnants of crashed saucers. I think in the same way that wood turns into rock with enough passage of time, I think it's possible that some type of metal alloy that is not from this planet, would ultimately turn into rock. Or, I think someone made a comment that if it were, this metal alloy, that we would find it all over the place. But no, it's only this, particular structure. I mean, if whatever this was made out of isn't from this planet, the minerals are foreign to this planet, then I believe that, that this is what happens after, let's say, 1 million years or 3 million years or 4 million years, or, how much ever passage of time was necessary for this metal alloy to turn into rock. And again, it's not a stretch that wood, something organic, something that used to be alive, something that went through a process, a growing process, and, took water, had leaves, whatever. If something like that, with enough passage of time, can convert into something that's completely inorganic, I don't think it would be too much of a stretch to think that something that was already inorganic then becomes rock. Another, just a different structure that, maybe after time, the structure changes. But yeah, whatever this is, I think it was something else before. I mean, maybe, heck, it could have even been wood at one time. I mean, yeah, what if this was some kind of a wooden lattice system that obviously was built by human hands, but the human hands that built it was here so long ago, which again goes back to my belief that everything that we've been so far taught about evolution and the progress of human civilization, it's all wrong. It's all wrong. So, it's a possibility. Anyways, let me take a look at this letter here. Let me give this a quick read. This is from Ukraine. Special services set up within the army to monitor UFOs. Now, this is from Pravda in the Ukrainian in 1995. Unattributed report in the Ukraine and the world. You see, here's another thing. Is Ukraine and the world? Is that like the National Enquirer or the Ukrainian version of the National Enquirer? And this article is just merely a report on an article that was written in the Ukrainian version of the National Enquirer? Or is the Ukraine of the world, I mean, are they a legitimate publication that reports on legitimate facts? FBI translated text in an exclusive interview with the Kievsky Vodomosti radio station. I'm sure I didn't say that right. Colonel Yuri Linyov, chief of the Ukrainian Armed Forces Main Directorate of the Meteorological Services, said that a special service for monitoring unidentified flying objects has been set up within his directorate. The service records unidentified flying objects according to their form, color, sound, and behavior. During the past 2 years, as Yuri Lunyov reported, his subordinates have recorded 2 cases of UFOs visiting Ukraine. On one occasion, even a fighter plane had to take off for this reason. Still, they have never managed to collect materials confirming such visits. Additionally, Colonel Lunyov said that, according to an expert in unidentified flying objects, Russian anti-aircraft forces downed a UFO in the North Caucasus last year and even took an alien captive. This report may contain copyrighted material. You see, again, that's why I think this is copyrighted material. Copyright and dissemination is prohibited without permission of the copyright owner. Who's the copyright owner? Yeah, some of these, these are definitely from the CIA UFO dump. But I'm not positive that these are actual reports of like incidents, or if this is if this is just a news article from a rag magazine, a Ukrainian rag magazine. Not too sure, but I'll leave a link in the description. This article here, left stranded U.S. military sonar linked to whale beachings in Pacific, say scientists. Islands surrounded by U.S. military study area, including Guam and Saipan, call for activity that harms the whales to stop. In the midst of the Western Pacific, flanked by the world's deepest ocean trench, the waters off the Mariana Islands are home and habitat to whales, dolphins, and countless other marine mammals as they breed and feed. It's also where they encounter the might of the U.S. military. The U.S. territory of Guam and the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, which includes Saipan, Tinian, and 12 other islands, are surrounded by the U.S. military's Mariana Island Training and Testing Study Area. Almost the size of India, the MITT is strategically important to the Department of Defense as a proving ground for new weapon systems and for live fire training. But some on the neighboring islands, including indigenous Chamorro people, hold grave concern for the military's impact on their environment, especially the use of sonar for anti-submarine warfare training, which may be causing whales to beach themselves and die. Okay, now let me just address this right here, right? Why does the military need to have sonar that is so powerful, right, that it's killing these whales? And our for instance, are our quote unquote enemies, right? Like the Russians or the Chinese. Are are they making their submarines out of some strange material that requires the U.S. military to use, this sonar that's killing these dolphins? You know what? Let me just get straight to the point. I don't think that that this Mariana Island Training and Testing Center is for that, to train for to live fire, or to test new weapon systems. This is the Mariana Islands. This is the deepest trench on the planet. It's the deepest point on our planet. And Emery Smith has done an interview where he talks about how our military has set up posts, because that's where there are some entrances and exits to wormholes. And I also believe that, because this is the deepest part of the ocean, that again, our neighbors, this is probably where they're located, and that's what's actually going on over there. That this sonar that they're using, it's not whatever to test for anti-submarine warfare training. That's the cover story. I think what they're actually doing in this area is either monitoring all of the UFO activity that's coming into and out of our planet through some kind of wormhole down here, as Emery Smith claims, or that this area has entrances, or maybe even some civilizations. Yeah, I think it's probably entrances to underwater civilizations. But this is where it's all happening. I think this is all just a cover story. Yeah, this sonar. And I've also think that this is or that the U.S. military is in charge of monitoring like all of this activity by our neighbors, because I've done a video before about all of the U.S. military bases around the entire planet. China and Russia, they don't have the number of military bases around other people's country the way the United States does. And again, there is an interview that I don't remember what the guy's name was, but he hunted down someone who, based on his knowledge, and the reason why he hunted this guy down was because this guy was part of a team that went and gathered crashed UFOs. And, the guy said that Russia and China, for whatever reason, they had no problems letting the U.S. take the lead on this. And I think that is the reason why. If you, Google U.S. military bases around the globe, and they're everywhere. Oh, yeah. And then one thing that this guy said, that anytime there's a UFO crash anywhere on the planet, the Yanks always show up. The Americans always show up, he says. And yes, it's because the U.S. military has bases all over the planet. And I think that, it's not, to monitor these other countries. Yeah, this whole Cold War, that I think that's all, again, it's a front. I don't think it. I'm basing that on, information that's come out. Yeah, we get along with all the other countries. Look at what goes on at the Bohemian Grove, and the things that have been going on there since this country's inception, right? So, yeah, the world's elite have always gotten along, and wars are only to generate money, because war is good business essentially. But anyways, let me go on to this last little photograph here. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Yeah, look at that. That's us, folks. From like, how many billions of miles? Yeah, 3.7 billion miles away. That is us. All of the nonsense, all of the bickering, all of the differences that we have. We got one party trying to convince everyone else that our political people who are on the other side of the aisle are our enemies instead of our neighbors and our family members and fellow Americans. Yeah, but all the BS and nonsense happens right there on that little planet. And then I also want to, point out this photo here. Hubble Space Telescope captures mind-bending photo of globular star cluster NGC 1898. Look at all those stars out there, folks. Okay, and again, if you believe that we're alone, or that UFOs can't visit us, I just want to, I would say you're naive, but really, me saying you're naive is just a nice way of saying you're an idiot. Look at all that possibility out there. And, in also take into consideration Michio Kaku's notion of different types of civilization. There are, type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4 civilizations, right? We're just now becoming a type 1 civilization, which is harnessing the natural resources of a planet. You become a type 2 civilization once you start harnessing the energy of your sun. For instance, like that Tabby star that they think is a sun which has a Dyson sphere built around it in order to collect its the energy from the sun. So that would be a type 2 civilization. And then a type 3 civilization would be a civilization that was able to harness the energy of its solar system. Because the solar system moves, right? It goes around in a circle. Imagine being able to harness that. And then a type 4 civilization would be a civilization that's able to harness the energy of a universe, of the entire universe. Okay, people, you've seen our universe, right? We have the Milky Way spiral, and that spiral is in motion. Our galaxy is in motion. Well, imagine being able to somehow harness that motion and draw energy from that motion, right? There are civilizations out there because there's enough time out there. And again, and if you think about, as far as time is concerned, we know that there was a time when our sun was here, but planet Earth wasn't here, right? Sun is here because it formed. Earth isn't here yet, right? Let's say they think it's 4.5 billion years. Okay, let's go back in time 4.5 billion years ago, right? When there is no Earth here. But even though Earth is not here, there are all of these other planets, all of these other stars out there. And on those stars and on the planets around those stars, there's life. Life had to have started out there. Because I believe, like, if you were to ask me what is the purpose of life, I think the purpose of life is to create more life. Because when I look out, that's all I see. I see trees growing and animals growing and people multiplying. I see so much life everywhere. So if the universe produces life, right, and if the same constituents that are around our planet, or around our Earth, those are the same. That's the same materials, the same building blocks that created life on this planet would create life on any other planet in space. I mean, why wouldn't it? So, again, go back 4.5 billion years before planet Earth is here. There's life out there developing. And, in the time that it took Earth to develop and get to the point we're at now, there's lives and civilizations that could have had a 4.5 billion year head start. So, in the same way that we look at, let's say, a colony of ants on the side of a freeway, I'm sure these type 4 civilizations probably look at us in the same way. You know, we're just like this colony of ants out in the outskirts of the universe, and whatever, you know, they're in the same way as cars fly by. There's, you know, colony of ants on the side of the freeway. These type 4 civilizations are doing their thing. They don't notice us, and we don't notice them because we're not capable. We don't have, again, in the same way, an ant is probably incapable of comprehending all those cars flying by their colony, generation after generation after generation. We're in the same boat because, like a fractal. I mean, we are no different. I think the universe is built of fractals, and we're just a smaller piece of a larger puzzle. But anyways, that is all my babbling for this video. If you like things like this, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I have more things like this. Take care.